Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be a summary of 2 Kings chapter 23, verses 1 through 37. Josiah had gathered all the elders of Judah and Jerusalem. And the king had went up to the house of the Lord and gathered all of the people that were great and small. And he read to them the book of God's laws that he had found in the house of the Lord. And as he began to read, he said, "You are to walk in the ways of the Lord. Keep all of his commandments and his statutes in your heart and in your soul. Perform the words that have been written down in this book that was read to you." And the king had commanded the high priest and the priest of the second order and the doorkeeper to remove all of the idols and the images that were located in the house of the Lord. They brought them out and they burned them down to ashes. They removed the high priest and burned them. They removed the gods that caused the children to pass through a fire. The high priest had not came to the altar of the Lord, but he did eat the unleavened bread. Now the king also took away the chambers and burned those in the fire. Any altar that was built in the Lord's house, the king of Judah had removed it and burned all of them. The king took out the bones of the men out of the graves and burned them also upon the altar that polluted it. And then the king had asked some of the men, "What is this name that is written on these graves?" And they said, "These are the men of God." And the king of Judah said, "Leave their bones alone, as well as the bones of the prophets." Now he killed all the priests that was on the high places, and he burned their bones on the altar. And then he returned back to Jerusalem. And the king had commanded the people to keep the Passover. And there was a Passover that was not as great of this one in all of the king of Judah and the king of Israel. The workers of familiar spirits and wizards and images and idols and the abominations were all moved and put away. And this was according to the words that was in the book of the law that was found in the Lord's house. There was no king that had turned to God and had obeyed all the laws that Moses had set before the children of Israel. And with all of this, the Lord did not turn away his anger from the children of Israel. His anger was still kindled against Judah, and the Lord said that he would remove Judah from his side, as well as he would remove Israel, and he would cast them out of the city. And Judah, where he had chosen to put his name. Now, the rest of the acts of Josiah and all that he did, they're written down in the chronicles of the book of Judah. Now, Egypt had went up against Assyria, and King Josiah had went up against them, and he was killed. He was brought back again to Jerusalem, where he was buried. And the people had made his son to reign in his place. Now he was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for 3 months. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. And then the king of Egypt had placed a band of people to pay tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. Now the king of Egypt had taken Josiah's son and had changed his name. And then they took him to Egypt, where he did die. And Josiah's son, in order to get these taxes to pay to the king of Egypt, to Pharaoh, he taxed the land. Now he was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for another 11 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. May God be with you in everything and every way.